it's going to be a little tough. Brave Smite on the X-Borg into the matchup where it is quote-unquote range versus melee almost.
Yeah.
It's a little painful to deal with.
It's really painful. As anyone who plays EXP lane knows, dealing with X-Borg is really difficult when you're on slower, tankier heroes. And Terizla is literally the definition of slow, tanky hero. You look in a dictionary and he is there next to that definition. So X-Borg is a great option here. Lunatix understands this very well since they banned it themselves when they had the hero. And I like this exchange. And I'm pretty sure it's going to go into the EXP lane because while Martis is not bad against Terizla, it's nowhere near what X-Borg is capable of, and Yuna has already shown a bit of a mastery in the hero in the jungle, so Lunatix doesn't want to vary their lineup a bit too much.
Absolutely. Now, looking at the previous game picks and bans, right, you can definitely see the shift in the ideology coming in from both Slango Red Giants as well as Team Lunatix, where Slango Red Giants taking away some very key picks here that were shown by Lunatix in the previous game, just to get, you know, throw out the feelers, get a bit of a read, and then immediately look to start target banning. I wouldn't even say the weaker players, but at the very least, knowing that there are two roamers, making sure that they feel the most uncomfortable.
I think at the same time, you also look at the bans on the side of Team Lunatix, right? They are deciding to let the Fanny through. If Super Skies wants to go for it, go ahead. Plenty of options right there. But for Slango Red Giants, with this Kufra ban, it is very, very evident that they want Super Skies to fly free once more in this game too.
Yeah, and more importantly, with that Kufra ban, it actually takes away a lot of the problems that Slango Red Giants would have probably faced if that had gone through. People like, oh, if I decide if I wanted to go for the Fanny, at least I'm not going to get stopped by the Kufra's bouncing ball. I'm also talking about Terizla, if he wants to go for that ultimate, the bouncing ball flicker, flicker to match the penalty zone, you can actually cancel that out as well. At the very least, Kufra overall, just a great ban for Slango Red Giants.
I'm just seeing a huge target onto Zakus and Esha's faces right now. And we can see the Diggy get pulled out. When I heard that Esha was going to shift into a mid lane position, one thought hovered in my mind. Are we going to see mid lane Diggy at some point this season?
I don't know.
I was not expecting it this early, but I feel like this is very likely because Esha loves Diggy. He just loves the hero. He's so annoying. It's very difficult to deal with in the right hands. It's very good for the penalty zone, but it's also giving the time journey to Super Zac. So I'm really worried about whether Lunatix may just have a shallow hero pool.
Yep, I mean, it's obvious that they do, and more importantly so, the fact that we are seeing this Diggy going somewhere along the lines of roam or support. Wait. That is an entire... The marching band hadn't fully... I thought all of the marching band was in the room, but it looks like even more fans are spilling into the arena just to watch the Slango Red Giants game.
And we actually see the Clint and Fanny picked up. Fanny, no surprise, but Clint, right, the first time it's picked in MPL MY so far. I had someone ask me this question prior to MPL. Beatrix and Clint, which one is better? And I want to get your guys' opinion.
I have a bias for Clint just because I love Clint. He's so fun to play. The double shot is really effective against most marksmen because Clint will just straight up outrange them. Now, Renner is one of those exceptions, but it requires Detho to be pretty good at his sniping game. And we saw in game 1, it was not bad at all. But what we're seeing from this is that Super Red just wants to take a step back and allow for Franco and Terizla to take the front line. Whereas Team Lunatix, they understand that. They're going to say, oh, Super Red, we're not going to let you stand safely at the back anymore. The Cho is going to come out. So it's a very similar double roam sort of composition here with the Diggy in the mid lane.
Yeah, no, personally for me, I definitely think that Clint has... it is a bit of a skill matchup because level 1 by far is going to be so important for both Super Red as well as Detho. If Super Red is able to get a full combination off, it's going to feel good. But if we see Beatrix get an entire mag of Nibiru specifically on top of him, that's when the trade starts to even out and it comes to that break point, right? One auto attack after the entire mag is just going to be a surplus.
So it's basically going to be who fires first.
Exactly.
We got a Wild West duel at high noon here in the gold lane in game 2 between the Slango Red Giants and Team Lunatix. Husky, what are you expecting from this game?
I mean, I hope we get a game 3. I already see some of the differences in that emblem as we head into game number 2 of the series between Slango Red Giants and Team Lunatix. Just quickly, on the topic of the gold laners, Detto opting for the tenacity, more survivability in lane, but for Super Red, he's like, I'm going full damage, weapon mastery.
Right, weapon mastery, interesting. Wants to be able to kind of scale, wants to be able to get the maximum potential of all of his items and extra bonuses at the same time. Just notice the early proxy coming in from the mid EXP from the side of Slango Red Giants, knowing that Kian is really frustrating to deal with at level 1, but Pancake looking to get punished here.
Again,
Oh,
time
no!
for Pancake.
He's just
He's
dead.
gonna go down, right? Yes, there it is. Zakas, first blood again. Lunatix. I mean, you cannot underestimate their early game.
No, you cannot. You absolutely cannot. And mid-prio is so very important here. That's why when we see Team Lunatix push out that mid lane, instantly they saw, oh, what are you going to do about this? Nothing? All right, I'm going to chase Pancake down. It's not like you can push out this wave by yourself.
What I'm understanding from this situation is that every other MPL team is going to be very happy with this because Lunatix are just straight up showing their hand. This is what they're going to start every game with.
And Esho Ohana is going to be shown down in the bottom side, taken out very quickly. The Skies trying to fish a bit more, can't find it, but does want to try and contest this camp. Level 4 insight for the Spanny. Yuna, can you get it though? Backup needs to show up really quickly. Super Skies will get it. Should be able to get away. Pancake might not be that lucky. Zach is sticking onto him with the Tikundo. Echahana, he just revived. Force a flicker already, but ends up going down anyways. Super Red as Super Zach finds Zakas. Yuna sent on the run. It's a Lang of Red Giants picking up 3 kills.
Ooh, that's a little sad. Super Zach did kind of whiff there on one of his abilities. He could have gotten another kill had he landed it, but back on towards topside, towards that turtle, you can definitely see the duel going between the EXP laners, right? Super Gojas, he wants to go in, but Xborg is just not going to allow him and just spaces him out. He's playing the footsies game.
Yuna in game 1 always had an XP lead until the late game, but in this case, you can see the adjustments from Super Skies and the rest of Selangor Red Giants. This Marnis is 2 levels behind this Fanny.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm really loving the adjustments actually. Red Giants, once they saw what they were dealing with in game 1, instantly start reversing the fate. They're gonna pull out a hero that's a bit more effective in the early game for the gold lane. The Clint actually does a lot of DPS and they can actually fight.
Penalty zone onto Kian to use the last insanity. Yuna wants to get away, Pancake on him. They blow up Super Gorgeous and Super Zack. Team Lunatix with a turnaround, and a Pancake finds himself in no man's land. Backup isn't there. Team Lunatix, they'll shoot a way to get the turtle, no problem.
Yup. Super Gorgeous was like, okay, I'm just gonna take it. Oh!
Super Skies, an attempt to steal, can't find it, but does get the kill. Unfortunately, he's gonna give up his life this time as Yan barbecues him.
Yep, very patient from Yuna. He purposely waited for Super Skies to make that decision. Are you going to try and go for the retribution and then try to kill me, or the opposite way around? Regardless, as long as Yuna has his finger over that retribution and he retributes as a secondary, he will secure it, and that's where he finds his success in securing the turtle. And not only that, because of this turtle, he's actually closing the gap onto Super Skies, who's just been taking away and constantly invading his farm.
Yeah, it does feel bad for Super Skies there. It actually would have been worth losing the turtle if he got out after killing Yuna.
Yep.
But the time reversal there from Esha, actually a skill that really messes with Fanny, being able to catch him out. And we can see now Super Gorgeous. Oh, some fancy footwork.
I mean, that is some dancing shoes. Bottom side, the way of Dragon onto Pancake, he is dead. Super Zack does come in. Super Skies actually does get a purple buff.
He gets
okay,
it.
Wow.
What?
The timing a bit off for Yuna. Not what they wanted, but maybe they can get Super Zack as a consolation prize. Zakas can't find a kill. Yuna not even close to that. Team Lunatix, but they will be able to walk away with a camp instead.
Yeah, I think that's not too bad actually. In exchange for Pancake being squished like his name, Super Skies is able to steal away a purple buff for himself. And we have to note, in the early game, I'm pretty sure Red Giants are quite comfortable with Pancake dying a few times, because against a Cho and a Diggy, there's just no way he's able to survive. So he just wants to use him as a bit of a meat shield set up for that mid to late game, while making sure that they're able to start getting snowballs through assists and kills. Super Red already 2-0 on the Clint.
Yep, I think, Super Red is going to have the best time in the world when it comes down to these team fights, right? Because realistically, who can actually get into the backline other than Zakas? And you can play around this Cho. There is a lot of counterplay. The follow-up isn't going to be as quick as you would expect other types of dive comps, unless the angle coming in from the Lunatix is incredible from Zakas. And even then, you're banking a lot on this Cho kick.
I mean, so far, Team Lunatix had 100% total secure rate. and see if they can get the 5th one. Super Gorgeous and Super Zack gonna be around this corner, but with no jungler in the vicinity, Team Lunatix will get their 5th turtle overall in the series. Both of them in this game. Pancake, meanwhile, will get their Bloody Hunt time journey a bit late. Detto will be sacrificed and fed to the wolves as the killing spree is obtained by Super Red.
The unfortunate thing is, Time Journey doesn't quite work on the almighty keyword. That is suppression right there. And Bloody Hunt is going to be keeping Detto locked down long enough for Super Red to chalk up another kill for himself. Lunatix, they've been doing a good job of controlling objectives and the map, but Red Giants still making their awareness known. Super Zack.
I mean, Ohana, he just got back. Someone let him play the game, man. Death number 4 already under his own tower.
Yeah, that's a bit of it feels bad, especially since he did take the Impure Ridge because he wants to stack up his auto alarm bombs, right, consistently. And the bigger the damage, the better it is for the side of Team Lunatix to actually find these resets coming in from Yuna on this Martis with the decimation. But right now, Slanger Red Giants, they just have to play at this continuous pace, right? It's a good...
Oh! Flicker kick into the open. There it is. The time journey stolen by Super Zack, the safest teammate.
Insurance policies. That's why we need to start paying our insurance policies.
Yeah, always gotta get that. You never know when you may need it. As right now, Zakas, he may need it, but it's Skies.
Wow, the Jigundo knockup stopping the steel cables. Pancake is low. Detto thinking of a kill. Double shot, almost finishing mob, and now penalty zone in, but thankfully, Ohana with the time journey keeps all of them alive.
Good play coming in for Slanger Red Giants. They chunk out everybody. They get some good, big battle spells out of them at the same time. They get the bottom tier 1, and now the question is, Slanger Red Giants, how exactly are they going to snowball this out of control? Because at this point, turtle or no turtle, it really doesn't matter to them. I feel like they need to be chunking out structures and playing...
Zakas, he's just going to Jikundo in. Bloody Hunt's going to be there. Instantly cancel. Super Skies on top of Detto. The time reversal pulls it back, and Yuna fights a decimation. Super Zack and Super Skies both down already. Super Gorgeous showing up, trying to defend the tower the best he can, but it is going to be not that easy though. Pull back, but the time reversal, penalty zone used. Zakas dashes away with the shrunk pole as Kian just puts his Pirata armor as a shield. Hey, Team Lunatix, they're going to get this turtle.
I'm pretty sure that time reversal actually helped him there.
Yes,
Yeah.
It did. It ended up catching Kian, and Kian, all he wanted to do was just to press his alt in the penalty zone. I was like, nope. Oh, trying to get, nope. Trying to get one more time, nope. Just canceling him constantly.
That's unfortunate right there, but it still does result in a bit of a victory here for Team Lunatix. I think this export pick has definitely been helping them out a lot in holding onto that top lane. And while Red Giants has a similar sort of issue where they actually have more damage potential compared to Lunatix with the double support, they weren't quite able to take that fight on their own terms. I think Skies actually did end up losing his composure there. Quite a rare situation.
Yeah, I think he got a little desperate, a little frantic, as a matter of fact.
Again,
beautiful.
The Jikundo into the Whale Dragon gets the kill on the Super Zack, so no Valentina already for Slanger Red Giants. We say that Zakas is the only one that can hit the backline, and this man has been dancing around Slanger Red Giant.
Yeah, I love his target selection because, again, if he targets for Super Red, the same situation will happen where you see Super Zack actually decide to pick up that time journey and bail his marksman out of these tough situations. But if it's the opposite way, there's no saving you. You are just gone.
They're going to try and fight in this tight area. Tian, last insanity, Pancake instantly. Just barbecue, turning to charcoal. Super Skies able to get away with a kill onto Detto, but the Super Gold is going to be pulled back. Time reversal, kicked again. He's very durable. Super Zack back in the fight already. Yuna is low, turns around, no decimation. Super Zack, he is the one that's decimating the lineouts of Team Lunatix as Zakas finds 2, but Tian, he's going to lose the immortality. Super Skies on top of him. Tian needs to get away. Firaga armor still online. Super Skies with the steel cable gets out with his life.
Oh, okay, finally. Things start to calm down here with Team Lunatix using every resource they have in their arsenal to try and claw their way back into this game and hold that lead in their hands. It's been a back and forth between the Slanger Red Giants and Team Lunatix. Both sides refusing to give any space. Oh, and they also land the Iron Hook to force out Ohana's ult instantly.
And Skies, he gets that purple buff as well. Right now, we are seeing Team Lunatix put up a very impressive fight, but the Red Giants are still maintaining very solid momentum across this game. And as we know, the later the game goes, Lunatix are going to fall back in terms of damage scaling. Yes, Diggy has more damage than before, but
yeah, that's the conceal play. So Slanger Red Giants finds the pick up on the Zakas, so no backline dive for now for Team Lunatix. Yuna might be the next target. They're just gonna commit everything onto Yuna. He's gone. Detto forced away by Super Gorgeous as Scan is late to the party. Time reversal. He's gonna pull Super Gorgeous back, but he will happily be pulled back. Time Journey is stolen by Super Zack to get him out.
He gets the bailout for free. They get 2 kills in the meantime, and most importantly, they've taken out Yuna. And with no Zakas there to try and make some backline dive play, Selangor Red Giants will be able to secure the first Lord of this game.
Not only that, but Super Red was able to get the 3-kill shutdown onto Zakas too. So this Clint is just slowly getting more and more farm. And I honestly am a little bit excited to see the late game damage from this hero. This is one of my favorites, but it's not going to feel good for Team Lunatix right now. A 1k net worth lead, usually not a big thing, but the meta has been shaping up in a way where this makes a difference.
Zakas again with the kick. Super Zack ends up going down once more. I mean, this man is a magician as Super Skies dies underneath that tier 1 mid. Again, Zakas gets Super Red knocked out with the Jikundo. Super Red needs help right now. They have lost the Terizla. Everyone on Team Lunatix running as the Selangor Red Giants. Lord or no Lord, Team Lunatix have found 3 kills.
How did they find 3 kills after all that? Zakas is just perpetrating why Team Lunatix is still in this game. Everybody has not been able to make a significant play except for Zakas so far. And even though he fights one person, I'm surprised that they're getting like 2 and 3 for free in the bundle.
I'm just remembering the old days right now, watching Zakas play. I can imagine just like your forefathers, your ancestors talking to you from beyond the grave. When it was my generation, we spoke of the legends of Zakas Cho. And right now we are seeing that here. The man is back. He hasn't been able to grace the Land of Dawn for ages. And he is really setting up these engagements for Team Lunatix, even though their lineup on paper shouldn't quite match up the Red Giants.
I mean, Zakas was an MPL champion in Season 7, back then with RSG, right? So this guy has been there, done that. We did see, you know, Selangor Red Giants once more with this Lord. You look at the AI winning prediction at 12 minutes, 56% in favor of Selangor Red Giants, but I'm not so sure about that because the Lord swing isn't really that huge. They did end up losing members. Mid tier 1 will go down. Asia Ohana under pressure, but Team Lunatix were able to hold on just fine. And look at where Zakas is. He's looking for a flank again.
Yep, so far so good here for the side, at least for Super Red. His damage is extremely relevant in this game. He probably is going to need a Malefic Roar at some point of time, considering how tanky everybody is from the side of Team Lunatix and also a GDS, of course. But until then, we're going to see. Oh, hold on.
There it is, Zakas. This time to get Bloody Hunt. No more kicks for you, my friend. Zakas sniped from afar. He goes down with enemy Super Sky. He's gonna go in. Detto needs to get out right now with the flicker. Esha Ohana protecting the goal laner. But this Beatrix is far from home. He's far from help. The Iron Hook lands onto Yuna. Everyone from Team Lunatix scattered into the wind. Super Go just in the front line. He's able to at least force Lunatix back. But Detto, Nibiru's passion is not enough. Super Zack easily takes care of business.
Yeah, but at least Super Zack, he's not whiffing it this time, making sure those Shadow Strikes actually count, but more importantly, with Detto already gone, this is where Selangor Red Giants actually pump up the gas. They keep on pumping it up, and they need to be able to at least crack open an inhibitor or find another kill to make it worthwhile.
Pancake gonna be able to hook Kian right there, but obviously not gonna go for the engage. Zakas is back. They're not gonna risk it. With the Lord back up onto the Land of Dawn, this should be a very easy take for them and a very difficult defense for Team Lunatix. The Time Journey is a very good defensive utility tool, but they need to try and force something here because they play off of pickoffs.
Zakas a bit too late to the party, and now the penalty zone actually doesn't connect. He gets pulled back by the time reversal. Zakas gets the kickoff, but has to use the flicker to escape as well. So Lunatix this time will not be able to punish the Red Giants.
Well, they have to take their time now. GDS already built onto Super Red. He's going to have some extra movement speed every single time he drops his ult. And remember, he's got multiple charges of it, right? Cooldown of 15 seconds to get that 7 seconds worth of movement speed immediately after from that GDS. So he's going to have a lot of uptime.
Yeah, there's just so much value for this item on Clint because like you mentioned, unlike a lot of other heroes in the game, Clint's ultimate has charges, and every single time he throws out a grenade bombardment, he gets that extra movement speed. And along with the quantum charge, Super Red is just going to be zipping around all over the place, and it's going to give him a lot of freedom to maneuver around team fights.
Yep, hopefully that's going to be enough to actually, you know, stray away and kite Zakas out, but it's a little tough to react to like a flicker third hit G Kundo combo or something like that.
They did get rid of the Firaga armor, so forcing Kian to back off. Zakas will not be able to find all these dives as easy as he did. Scan once more. He's gonna throw his body in front, and Super Gorgeous will do the same, but Super Skies toying with the idea of a dive, just not find it. Hail Dragon used. Eshao Hana flickers forward. They read him as Super Skies. Super Gorgeous! 4-man penalty zone. Eshao Hana bails him up. Team Lunatix looking to commit to a fight. Zakas might lose the immortality, and yes, Super Red takes that out. So no more immortality for this Cho.
Great bait coming out from Super Skies, right? They are just looking for anything, and they got the Way of the Dragon. As soon as Zactus doesn't have a Way of the Dragon, people like Super Red can start walking up confidently in these fights. If Chan decides to break his Faraga armor by using that last Insanity, it's a bit of a throw, right? You either combo it together with a penalty zone, or at the very least, when Yuna lines them up for him, then it might just be worth it when you can hit multiple members. If not, you are losing 50%, if not more, of your HP just using an early ult. And yes, you do have the immortality to give you that second life, but every single percent of your HP, considering his build right now with the anti-cuirass as well as the radiant armor, is just going to be far more valuable.
Yeah, Team Lunatix, they're being forced to use a lot of their utility there, and Skies was just being so annoying in that situation. Literally embodying that mosquito that knows how to fly into your car but can't for some reason find the window out. And they just were forced to use so many resources on him, not even getting the kill, allowing Red Giants to take full control of the situation.
Super Sky is also taking advantage of that purple buff. So much value. Energy regeneration allows him to kind of zip around and create all these space where you're getting info. You're very confident that you're not going to be killed by Team Lunatix. But have we reached that stage where Team Lunatix is defaulting back to that game 1 predicament, where a lot of that damage is just on Detto himself?
I mean, that's a draft problem more than anything else, right? I mean, they could have created some secondary win conditions, but they just don't have the hero pool for it, and Slinger Red Giants took full advantage of it, right? As long as this game drags out, eventually the Red Giants will outscale their opponents, and considering that Super Red just finished his Berserker's Fury, every single one of those crits is going to be devastating.
Having a lineup that's so dependent on the numbers advantage is really costing Team Lunatix here. They need to be able to fix that for their next games in the season. But before they can even think about the future, they gotta deal with the present, and that is Red Giants getting Bloody Hunt.
And they found Zakas. That is the guy that cannot go down, and he dies. Yuna cannot deal with the damage. Super Zag instantly becomes that Martis with the decimation. Yuna drops. Chen loses that Faraga armor. Detto dove on by Super Skies. This could be it. The jugular on Team Lunatix exposed to the Red Giants. 3 dead as Selangor Red Giants looking to close it out in a 2-0 fashion. That Siege Minion is gonna die, but the next wave is coming in pretty soon from the bottom lane. Super Gorgeous by his teammate side, Super Red. He wants more kills. He wants the glory. And Selangor Red Giants in the debut series in MPL MY Season 12 gets a 2-0 win over Team Lunatix.
GG, well played to the Slinger Red Giants, continuing to show us they're a young team. They are instinctual, but the best. But wait, no, he's doing it! Oh, he's snacking like a legend!
We don't quite have the popcorn, but we do have Mr. Potato. Absolute deliciousness. He even sharing it with the rest of the team.